Well, the McDonald family's a little tired, a little burnt out this afternoon. We're on our way back to the house. We had to get Ollie fitted for his suit for 2025, his baseball jersey. Oddly enough, it wasn't that hard at all. They literally looked at him and said, "Oh yeah, he's a Youth XL." It's so frustrating. What a waste of time. Anyway, we went out to eat lunch. One of Amy's favorite restaurants is Lone Star at fajitas. So we went to eat at Lone Star, and winding out the rest of our day. My last day as a 47-year-old is today. I turn 48 tomorrow, right? 48, right? 48 tomorrow. And I just wanted to make sure I was 48, not 47 or 49. We had a good week at the track. We had a good week overall, and it only is getting as we get closer to the end of the year, it hasn't really moved the needle that much in regards to we have had a tremendous 2024. We were lucky enough, I had a great conversation with Amy and a couple other people last week about what we accomplished this year. We had a lot of great state courses in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and somebody said, well, Kentucky wasn't that good. I said, yeah, we only set that world record. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot going on. And listen, a lot of what takes place on the track, as is luck, right? We can only put the work in, do the best we can, hope the horses get good drives and are in spots where they can win and they get the job done. And that's what we try to accomplish every single day, stake race or otherwise, is to just try our best to put our horses in the right places to do well. I had a great conversation with some people yesterday about where we could race Arson, what possibilities there were there. Obviously, Ontario was on the list. Yonkers, although it was not my first pick, was if we had to. I'm sure he could get through there and do well. And then there was always the Meadows and Dayton, which makes the most sense. And it looks like we are going to lean towards Ontario with Arson, simply because I believe there is going to be a race for him written, where him and other horses turning 4 can race competitively. I'm not looking for layups in easy classes, but I do not want to race against the open horses, aged horses, especially that thing of Manares that's already won in 47 twice. Hattie Bear, I don't want to race against those horses, right? It's just, there is a way where we can hide. I need the charger for a sec, guys. Where I can hide our horses and at the same time race competitively, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do. And I think we found a way forward for a horse like Arson, a number of our other horses coming back. Tell you what I was pleased with. Hey, but what are you doing, sweetie? Tell you what I was pleased with this week was the way the horses in Ontario looked. I didn't realize that Dancing by Myself was that close and that James had liked him that much. He looked very, very good, apparently, schooling this week. The other horses will be schooling next week, right? Never Lose Felix. Who are the other ones? Never Lose Felix. The 3 of them that are getting close. They didn't train Mounts for All and Southland Idex. Those horses will all school next week. And of course, those horses, 2 of those horses had shares for sale in our Black Friday sale, first annual one. It went over very, very well. We saw 2 of our homebreds sell out immediately. I was a little surprised to see Pretty Eyes and Lies sell out so quickly. I liked her. I liked the way she looked. But then you see a horse like Capistrano Nights, who people didn't really move towards. There were some shares sold, but not at the frequency I thought there would be. And State... Yeah, that's true. That's true. Pacer versus Trotter. The filly is a PA bred trotting filly. The other one's a pacing filly. But when you look at our lather up from last year, Gorgeous Package, a lot of similarities, right? A lot of similarities between the two. And I think people don't realize how well Capistrano was bred, right? You have Mr. Feelgood in the second dam. She was very well bred filly, and in her own right was a very good racehorse for us. So, really, really pleased with the way she's broken looked and the way she looks like she's coming along. Is in regards to the 2-year-olds turning 3, I wasn't surprised at all. The Fire and Shine was sold out in minutes. Southwind Idex, as I said this morning in a video, I guess when you factor in what's at stake when you have a big, giant, beautiful trotter, he's always going to carry some worth, right? So it's not really a huge risk when you're talking about $140 or $50 a share. So good luck to Matt in particular, who bought a lot of those shares with Southwind IDEX. Never Lose Felix, I was a little surprised people didn't like him, but I guess he never really gave a lot of people a lot to really grasp onto last year. I saw a horse with a lot of potential that had some soundness issues. They're all cleared up, and he will also be schooling next week at Mohawk. So I'll be very interested to get the feedback from James and Dominic in that regard. Now, the feedback from Ohio, I can tell you, Amy and I made a video the other day, very, very happy with the way our Ohio breds are generally our yearlings in Ohio have broke in and how they looked. Very pleased with what I saw from a lot of them, and even the ones where maybe I got a sneak peek at them a day or two or a week before and we made some changes. The improvements on those horses just in that short period of time was amazing also. So very happy with what I saw there. Eager to see our other 2-year-olds that are turning 3 come back in. We're going to get Baby Princesses coming back this week. Addie Bear, gorgeous package.
Do you have all the paperwork? Because it's literally going to be this horse needs to go and this horse is taking it.
Yeah, we've been drawing some blood work this week. The horses aren't coming back until Wednesday, and I'm sure Doyle can grab them then also. All we need is a Coggins, and then we can get the health papers made up. So I believe you're going to see Harrison come north to Harry. You're going to see, and Harry's got a strong barn. Those 2 Australian pacers looked extremely good training the other day. I was really, really happy with the way Neptune and Troysa looked. They looked very good. Arson will come over here. We have some horses we do. Amy's right, we have to move around. We only have so many stalls in Ohio. So we take a look at who is... I don't want to send a horse over here if it doesn't look like they're going to have a shot to race at Mohawk, right? Dancing by myself, I am certain that horse is going to be fine. And maybe numbers of 2, maybe even numbers of 3 at Mohawk. Mounds for All, we looked at him. He's only got 3 wins. I thought he had like 4, 5, 6 wins. He got 3 wins. So, yeah, I know I was surprised too. I had no idea how much money he had made, but he will fit in at Mohawk also. So this year, if I was to take away what I did wrong in the fall again, I just did not successfully fill that void, that gap for Mohawk in particular, but our horses racing in September, October, into November, there was still a void there that I don't think I did a very good job filling that properly. I thought I did in my mind, and that we had the right horses to do it, but it turned out I think I made some missteps there. So I want to go back and look at and audit what I did and how we did it and what mistakes I made, and if we can improve on those for next fall also. Now, speaking of audits, one of these things is it's out of sight, out of mind, is the hard work that everybody's putting into the website and the stable behind the scenes. As you guys know, there is, and there still is a transition going on where John Evans and Nishant, his partner, are going to come in and start running the business side of the stable, and the work they've done behind the scenes. My take on it is simple. We all knew, and you guys knew this, that over the last 5-6 years, definitely since the pandemic, everything has gone up, right? It's more expensive for us to do business, yet I just didn't feel that we were in a position to put our prices up, and maybe we never will be, but knowing that everything costs more than it did 3-4 years ago, prices would have to go up in some things. And the easy, lazy thing to do would just be like, well, we're going to have to put our training up $2 a day per horse per share. But that was the easy way to do it. And that isn't what we're trying to do. And John understood that. And John was the one that took over, pouring through everything, looking through everything and saying, I can find inefficiencies here, I can find inefficiencies here and here. I don't think it's a $2 charge, he said. In fact, at the very most, to put money towards the infrastructure that we're putting down and the extra bookkeeping we're doing, because it's pretty obvious that the bookkeeping's got to a point where it's not a one-person job, and it just got very, very taxing on everybody, on Amy, on Wendy, even Kelly and Linda. Some of it spilled over into them, on Eric. So we have to make sure that we take care of some of that. And John was the one that said, no, we do need to put some administrative charges on there to take care of some of the stuff moving forward, but I don't believe that the prices of training have to go up yet. We're not going to be finished our audit. This is him. We're not going to be finished our audit until the new year, and until then, I don't think we should be moving anything, which, good for him. I'm not looking to make $1 million and have planes and helicopters. I just want to make sure that we can all race our horses and that everything moves properly and functions properly. and the job that John and Deshaun have done behind the scenes has been absolutely amazing. And I said it the other day quickly when we were talking about Thanksgiving and giving thanks to people, and I will say it again. Everybody that works at the stable, whether it's Amy, whether it's Wendy, Kelly, Linda, Eric, certainly John, Deshaun, everybody involved with the stable, for this to work the way it does, they have to put in a lot of hours, and I truly appreciate our trainers also, right? Harry, you see the work that Harry and Dominic are doing, and Jason, and everybody they understand what's at stake here. We're trying to build something that's never been done before, something that's massive, and it's only going to get better, and it possibly could get bigger from here also. So to everybody that falls under those parameters, thank you very much, and obviously thank you, our clients, for all that you do and allowing us to do our work. I did think that, and again, I'm open to feedback, but, hello, there's a guy down. That's almost. There's that guy. See that guy there on the right? Yeah, that little tiny dog just pulled him right onto the ice, and he did a complete triple sow cow. There on the ice, you missed it. I wish I had just been coming around the corner a second earlier. Anyway, again, it's been a tremendous year. It's been a tremendous run. We're going to do our best to keep it going, and I'm so excited to see the horses coming up. As I said, when I look at Troisa, when I look at Neptune, when I look at all that we've done and all that we've tried to do and all we've accomplished, and the things that maybe we didn't accomplish that we wanted to, trying to look back on my information to see what I could have done better, what I could have done differently, for sure. You can't always be right. But what maybe didn't work this year and what did? I guess front and center would be our the weanlings that we have on the site now. What's the best way to allow people to buy into them? Because obviously the cost of them moving forward is going to go up as the bills come in for them. So that's something I want to look at. I don't want to look to a Black Friday 2025 to be Black Friday 2025 to be selling shares of our horses. That was an obvious, massive error on my part. But at the same time, listen, if you guys get to be a part of what we're trying to do with our homebreds next year, then so be it. I guess that's the way it is for 2024. Racing this week, thoroughly pleased with what I saw from All Gas No Brakes. Just those are the types of horses. I said Dominic last night. I said Drebin in that 60 claimer for 3-year-olds. Obviously, I'm hoping they carry that over to 3 and 4-year-olds in 2025. If that's the case, that's a great spot for Drebin. I mean, even if he loses a touch of his allowance and goes for $75,000 next year, that's a tick over what we're going to get an on-gate for him right now. So that's a great spot for him, and that's a perfect spot for Dominic to do some damage also. It's so hard to have horses that can consistently be competitive at Mohawk. Very, very difficult thing to do. And if you have the best horse at Mohawk, well, okay, it's not that hard. But when you're trying to traverse those middle conditions, it is super, super difficult to do. And I'm glad that All Gas No Brakes and Drebin fit in. And moreover, to that point, we have horses that can take their place if somebody has to think that they maybe will jump in and grab one of those horses. We certainly have horses to take their place. So that's also really, really cool. We do have the sale on Monday of a number of horses. We have 9 of them up for sale. And those horses, if you look through it, I've said this, I don't want to keep beating this drum, but it's just horses we're having difficulty to get in right now, or maybe a horse like Brace for Landing. You don't know what class they're going to stuff him into at the Meadows. It may be up in the Numbers of 10, also into the Open. I just don't like the uncertainty moving forward. I would like a much more sure-footed path moving forward, and when we have Memory and Imagination coming back, we have Irresistible Sun. Those horses are on the cusp of being ready to go. A number of horses here also being close to ready to go. Mountains for All in particular, we don't talk about him enough. These are horses that can do damage real quick, and horses that can probably be sustained through the majority of 2025. And I think we have to take a serious look constantly. Revisit, 1, what classes are filling, 2, what horses we have for those classes. They run hand in hand. But 3, most importantly, can they get in consistently, and are those horse classes competitively? Because in Ontario, the Nommers of 3 might be mixed with a number of classes to fill, Nommers of 4 or 5, and so on. And we don't want to get into that. Situation. We want to get into a situation where the Nommers of 3 is the same every week, and we have a horse like Drebin that is consistently competitive in that class every week. As a couple of our other horses come back, that Nommers optional, blah, blah, blah. 40 claimer is another place for 3-year-olds, is another place we'd like to have a horse for. So I'm constantly on the lookout for those types of horses also. I think that's a little low for Pickpocket. It's a lot low for Pickpocket. He could slide into a Drebin type situation right now. In fact, he's probably a better horse than Drebin right now. But I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to put Pickpocket here and move Drebin. No. Drebin is fitting in perfectly. Dominic's getting to know him. James is driving the horse perfectly. That's his class. But we will look to fill up some of those in the remaining weeks. So getting back to this week, all gas, no brakes, raced fantastic. Just a great race from the old horse. He's such a nice horse to be around too. George of the Jungle made that break. That really wasn't his fault the other day, right? Made that little break coming off the car when I was trying to backpedal him into the 5 or 6 hole. That's the first time I ever tried to back him up going into the first turn. I was always advancing, and I think that was the problem in itself, was the boxing him up going into the turn. He touched himself and rolled off. That's on me. I should have let him trot forward and hope that maybe Ronnie dropped me in the 4 or 5 hole, whatever it was. Instead, I was looking to take back, and that was an error on my part. Yo, Mr. Scope sick this week. He'll be good for next week. Pickpocket raced great. We'll see if he sells tomorrow. You know, if he sells, he sells. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I know what he's worth, and I suspect most other people do too. The horse is on fire right now and looks really, really good. And the good news is that he can still get in after, I think his class went on Friday, didn't it? No, it was written on Thursday. I don't know when they write it back. But either way, he's raced 3 weeks in a row. He can have a week if he needs it. Save America raced tremendous again. Just a little rocket man, you know. You're racing against horses, $500 and some thousand made this year. You're kind of up against it. Greatest ending, I would just love one firm track. Just let us race on one firm track for the time being. He's raced 3 times, and all 3 times have been in the slop with bar shoes on. Not good. International man, Jason and I had a great conversation about him today. 1, we need the bigger bike. 2, I'd like the blacksmith to go over his front feet and check his quarters, his inside and outside quarters, to see if there's any tenderness. This is a horse, when I watch him trot, he could easily wear a set of mushroom bars if his feet are bothering him. And when you see a horse that warms up fine and then in the race is pounding the bike, I let him trot pretty hard on the end of it just to make sure everything was mechanically okay. It seemed fine in the warm-up, but then when we get right down to it in racehorse speed, it wasn't. And he was hitting the outside part of the actual cross piece of the bike. Now, if the track was slippery, you'd say, well, he's probably slipping a little bit. Geez, it didn't feel like it to me. It felt to me like he was loading weight a little bit from the front end. If that's the case, it's likely his front. How do we remedy that, and how do we manage that? We'll get to that over the next couple of days between Jason and I and the blacksmith. And then Love and Affection, just a nice filly. She got interfered with the other night, stayed right at it. But again, if we get the right money for her, she could probably race anywhere for anybody. Admiral Deal raced good. I did not give the proper credence to his race the other night. Patricia was not long messaging me to say, hey, you forgot about Admiral Deal, and he raced pretty good, and you've had 2 videos now that you made, and you never mentioned him once. You're correct. I apologize. The horse did race very good. Very happy with the way he's coming around. Harry Polton's barn's going to heat up in a hurry. In the open trot area, you're going to have Logan Park and probably at least one of the other 2 best out for the winter. They're probably going to give them some time off. I don't know if they'll give the Amigo horse time off, but if we can get Looks Like Money back rolling just a little bit better, I think he can be competitive with anybody in that open group throughout the winter. That would be good for Harry, especially when you factor in he's got Troisa and Neptune coming behind him. He's got this horse racing right now also, Admiral Dio, who's racing very good. I think Harry's barn, as I said, will heat up quite quickly. Then on Friday, we had 3 Point Blue Chip, terrible trip, and it wasn't Tyler's fault. It was just a horrible trip, and I'm sure he'll be fine next week. Spitfire Overseas keeps getting better and better. He's coming around now. You can see it. Drebin was a race winner. Texan Soprano, truthfully speaking, one of the only flat miles of the week. No, there was a couple. But for the most part, one of the flatter miles of the week was Texan Soprano. As I said, I feel bad for Meg. She's probably going to get the horse to come around. It's just going to take time. He was great. 2 back, was poor his last 2 starts ago. And then the other night looked like he kind of got lost in the 2 wide path in the last turn, even at the Meadowlands, which is hard to believe, but that's what it looked like to us, to me for sure. The night he raced great, he didn't really have to move him until the latter part of that turn, and he took a real good run at the stretch. So I don't know if that played a role or not. I'm not sure. And then, of course, we get on Fancy Like Racing tomorrow. That's my birthday. And she's 7 of 5 from the rail. Likely her last start with us. Either they claim her Sunday night and she's out of the sale Monday, or they don't claim her Sunday night and she sells on Monday. Either way, it's likely her last start with us on Sunday evening. And has been such a nice filly for us, too. You know, when you look at back where she came from as a baby all the way to where she is now, it's hard to believe she made such a transformation. She went from the laziest horse we may have ever broke, and according to Jason, the worst horse we've ever broke, which is not accurate, but it was a strong statement, to the filly she is today, and it's been such a treat and a joy to race almost every start that I've ever gone there. I know Mark wasn't a huge fan of her in Yonkers, but I just don't think she got around the track very good. Here in Ohio, she got around the track great and has been racing great. Raced great the other night, beat fair and square by Philly, who won the division and went up into the 30,000 claiming ranks. So, you know, when you look at that in comparison, if that horse of Burke's can do up there that was claimed, quite a discount for this filly heading into Monday. And then speaking of Monday, we got Looks Like Money, who is 10-1 in the Open. So James picked over him for Travis, and 3-1 with the Gas Man. Again, what a great class that is for this horse. Really, really good. And then we get another look at Vehement on Tuesday. He's 6-5 in the maiden. You know, Robert had messaged me the other day and said, "What about Vehement to Ontario? I know you floated the idea briefly. Any more thoughts on that?" My initial instinct was to say no, but that may not be fair. I think that sending Vehement to Ontario, if it looks like he can do in a maiden, I think that would be fine. The only problem I have is what I just said. We have 3 horses. 2 of them are maiden trotters that are getting really, really close to going right now in Dancing by Myself and Never Lose Felix. So is there a spot for a Vehement over here right now? I don't want to start tramping on toes this early in the winter. So we'll see. But for the most part, as you can see, everything is going great at the stable. Ooh, I'm bidding on a horse today, too. Where's that at? Can't miss that. I will miss that if I don't set an alarm. I've already missed it 3 times today. Where's he at? Doesn't matter. I'll get to him in a second. I am bidding on a horse today. We'll see if I get him or I do not. I guess I can tell you who it is, since you're not going to see this video until the sale's over. What was that horse's name? Oh, it's way down here. This is old. This horse sold yesterday. Tuscan Prince. I am the leading bidder as we head into maybe an hour left in that sale. For the right price, I think he'd be a great spot and fit right in the middle of what we're trying to do. That non-winner's a 3, but has some pop. I would say he's a little bit better than Marching Forth. He's a little bit better than like Love and Affection, or who's another one selling Marching Forth. Non-winner's a 2, 3, 4 trotter. I think he'd be the top end of that totem pole, and I think he'd fit in where some of the other horses may not. So that's what we're looking to do today. As I said, as I make this video, he may go for 70,000. I have no idea. But I won't be going much more than probably 28 for him, I would imagine, 28, 29. But we'll see how things shake down moving forward. For right now, though, Amy and I are done for the day. She is tired, needs a nap. I probably need one too, but I am going to finish up my videos and see if we can't get all these fixed up for you as we head into Sunday. I'd love nothing more than to have all your videos for everybody on my birthday. Take care.
One more time.
Tomorrow, it's the 1st of December. Tomorrow, it's my birthday. Oh,
you sound like Addie.
I'm allowed to, aren't I? It's not like it's my birthday.
What race are you in on Sunday night?
It's 2, I think.
Oh, good.
2 or 3. Oh, you want to bring everybody out? Oh, okay.
You'd like to know why.
All right.
Little
Take
pie
care.
face.
But I don't think anybody be throwing pies in my face. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, and we'll talk to you all again in a few minutes. And again on my birthday. Take care.